Today I'm reacting to a video by Moistcritikal, or Penguin Zero, or Charlie. I normally agree with his takes, but in this video I already know that I'm not going to be agreeing with him here.
Books and cartoons, but now I know it's a very real thing that you can see happening daily in this country. Now, the big thing I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about a lot here. There's going to be a bunch of blabber in here and drool coming out of my mouth as I'm spitting because I'm about to be getting pretty passionate. And the big focus is on the huge crypto collapse from yesterday.
There we go. It was caused by Trump announcing tariffs against China.
And the very suspicious, very lucky trader who was able to cash out $190 million off of it because they were shorting Bitcoin and Ethereum a day before and all the way up until a minute before Trump's Truth Social post announcing the massive tariffs on China, which crashed the entire market. And then 30 minutes later, they cash out $190 million. It seems like they might have known something, but
that trader definitely knew something. But where Charlie fails in this video is he assumes that it's someone connected to Trump. It's not, and I'll explain why later. There's also a few other mistakes in his logic I'll get to.
That can't be, right? That would be corruption. And this administration doesn't engage in that kind of nefarious activity.
Yeah, his assumption that it is someone in the Trump administration. First of all, the reason Trump announced those tariffs is because of what happened with rare earths on October 9th, the day before. You have China announces sweeping new export curbs on rare earths and other critical materials. And why this was important? China's rare earth restrictions are a slap in the face of President Trump's. China's rare earth and magnet restrictions threaten U.S. defense supply chain. So it's a big deal. This is something, in other words, China did something that Trump had to respond to. And anyone who knows Trump, the way he responds is by threatening tariffs. So when China did this, this is the cause of the tariffs that Trump announced a day later on October 10th. You see in his post when Trump did the tariffs, he says, some very strange things are happening in China. They are becoming very hostile and sending letters to countries throughout the world. They want to impose export controls on each and every element of production having to do with rare earths. New tariffs or threat of tariffs were directly linked to what China did the day before. In other words, Trump didn't just decide to do this on a whim. He was responding to China. And like I said earlier, anyone who knows Trump knows that he goes to tariffs right away when in these type of situations. Anyone who knew that Beijing was going to impose restrictions on rare earths could have seen this crash coming. In other words, if you're going by who had pre-knowledge of this, well, the Chinese side are just as responsible for the crypto market crash as the Trump side. It was two sides of a coin. China does import restrictions, Trump threatens tariffs. So why is Charlie immediately thinking it's on the US side? Why is he not assuming that it might be on Chinese side that owns this wallet? This assumption that's immediately on the Trump side is flawed. So that's first huge, big problem with Charlie's thinking here.
Except for all the previous times that this exact same thing has happened with Trump announcing things on Truth Social that people close to him that suckle his fucking teats must have had insider knowledge on.
Again, I actually read this article about Beijing moving to curb rare earth supplies. I wasn't surprised at all by Trump threatening new tariffs.
Because they're able to cash out millions upon millions of dollars because of his rinse and repeat cycle of threatening tariffs, backing off tariffs, postponing tariffs, just fluctuating the market up and down, yet people in his inner circle.
Again, Beijing did a drastic move with regard to rare earths. This was not initiated by Trump. This was initiated by China. Rare earths are absolutely critical, like I showed before, for the defense industry, for all manner of high-end technological products. It's not something Trump could leave unaddressed. So this whole crash in the crypto market, it was triggered by this action by China, not Trump. Trump was the response to this action by China.
must be privy to this knowledge because they are making absolute bullseye trades based on that before it becomes public. So this isn't really anything new.
You might not be aware of it, but that has been happening for a long time. When I was covering the 2008 financial crisis, I saw this again and again and again and again and again. It's been going on way, 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 way before Trump. I'm sure Charlie knows this, but he's assuming that now when it's happening, it's Trump. I am absolutely convinced it's the same party that has been doing this all along. I'll get into that more in a bit.
It's just the most egregious instance because you can literally see it. This account opens and starts shorting Bitcoin and Ethereum a day before this announcement, and then a minute before the Truth Social post goes live.
I will point out that what people call the deep state is going to be aware of things like tariff. Trump, before he threatens something like tariffs, he has to talk to people in his administration. It might seem like he's going off the cuff, but he's not going to do something like threatening tariff without first discussing it with people in his administration. And deep state undoubtedly has leakers in the Trump administration. Thinking it's definitely Trump or someone in his family that's doing these trades, that is naive to the extreme, Charlie.
Like, it's unbelievable. And if
You're right to be raging. It's infuriating. It always has been. But when you're raging at the wrong parties, you become part of the problem.
A MAGA cultist, it actually is unbelievable. They refuse to believe it. They refuse to accept.
He's thinking people are brainwashed because they don't believe Trump is involved. Well, I've just pointed out, one, that China is the one who initiated all this. So he should also be casting suspicion on China.
The very real reality that they are getting fucking hosed. Trump.
Yeah, also, if you can't tell, Moistcritikal has undoubtedly lost a lot of money in this crypto crash, which my condolences for that. But your anger is not being directed at the right parties.
Trump's family's net worth has exploded since becoming president. How do you defend that? Well, I'll tell you how. Because they say Trump is such a benevolent saint, he actually doesn't even keep his salary.
Okay, I'll respond to that first. The moment Trump became elected, for example, that lawsuit against him that was threatening to wipe out basically his entire fortune in New York. When he became president, that became unlikely. So just having the threat of all the lawfare Democrats were doing against him lifted, just that alone hugely boosts his net wealth. There's also the fact that anyone who becomes president, that's added layer of fame. There's ways to monetize that. People want to be connected. So yes, just becoming president is going to boost your fortune. It should. And that isn't necessarily a problem.
From being president. Wow, that's how much he cares about the American people. You fucking delusional homunculus.
You're not being rational in your rage, Charlie. People aren't brainwashed. You're just not thinking straight in this case.
The presidential salary is actual peanuts. It's literal fucking used condoms in the grand scheme of how much money.
Yes, but a bunch of his wealth comes from the Trump brand and its selling power. By becoming president, the Trump brand went up a lot in value. I mean, that's just how it is. It's not nefarious in any way. It's to be expected. And because the actions he's taking is popular among a broad section of the population, and people who like what he's doing will reward him by buying into his brands. You may not like it, but it's not outright nefarious.
Money him and his family are making throughout his presidency. When he was being fucking sworn in, he was still launching up to 168 new products. And that doesn't even include...
He owns companies that he probably wasn't even aware of all these products. It's like, you wouldn't believe how many different products like Pepsi is launching. He's a major corporation. He's going to be launching products. Okay, let me put it this way. Was there a change? Was he launching more products since becoming president? That you might have a case if you made that argument. But him launching lots of products, he was probably doing that even before he became president, and it's probably people under him, and he's not even supervising it.
Include things like his cologne that he launched, you know, the fucking Trump Gooch galore smell.
He's been doing stuff like that for years. He'd be doing it even if he wasn't president.
The Trump watches, the Trump phone and shit like that.
You're just complaining about someone rich getting rich, sure. And as someone like you in your position are someone wealthy, how many products are you launching? Is it wrong for your supporters to buy your products, Charlie? You're just not thinking straight.
So that has only increased the amount of things that he is hawking to the American people to buy solely to enrich himself and his family. His fucking meme coin and all of that.
I will admit the meme coin. I'm not a fan of any meme coins.
Family is going ballistic in terms of how much money they are making off of his presidency. They're not even
This is the New York Times, by the way, and the least partial source. I would not trust the New York Times for accusations of corruption against Trump. Period.
in terms of how much money they are making
Charlie, get better sources for your news.
off of his presidency. They're not even hiding it. They are just constantly making money off of you as you suffer and get
They are making money off of their supporters who are happy with what he's doing. After finally having a president really cracking down on illegal immigration. People that are happy with that buy Trump brand products. It's not nefarious.
less and less money. They get more and more. They are taking the pizza and not even leaving you bits and pieces, morsels of the crust.
People aren't unhappy to buy these products. What are you complaining about it?
It's sad, and yet people love it.
He's unhappy because he lost money on the cryptocurrency crash.
They will accept it with a fucking smile on their face and say, please, give me some more.
Yes, give me some more crackdowns on illegal immigration, and I'll keep buying your products. Yes, that will happen. The Trump supporters have no problem with this situation.
I've got more holes for you to fill. Please, come in here. I'm waiting.
They're not giving something for nothing. They are getting what they want in return.
It's just absurd. They don't even stick to a single belief anymore. Like the Epstein files, I know I have made a lot of content on in the past.
Okay, quick thing about the Epstein files. If they managed to get to Epstein in prison, I guarantee you they managed to get to the Epstein files in FBI custody. So I have been very hesitant. If the deep state got their hands on the Epstein file, I can tell you they will have taken out all the really bad people and they will have added, that's what I fear, innocent people. Like there's that Wall Street Journal article recently that had this supposed letter to Epstein written by Trump. I wouldn't be surprised if there is a physical letter like that, but it wasn't written by Trump. That's what I mean about the Epstein files. I fear might be compromised. And another reason is because of how Trump addressed the Epstein files, saying it's a Russian hoax. Well, the Russian hoax was what the deep state used to completely sidetrack Trump's first term. When he said that, I think he's worried that releasing the Epstein files with possibly fabricated evidence in them implicating him would be used to try to sidetrack his second term. So I definitely believe there are people connected to Epstein that should go to jail. But I don't entirely trust who has had this Epstein list, who has had this evidence, what was the chain of custody. I don't entirely trust this Epstein list. So that's why I'm not going to be pushing for releasing it or whatever. Names gotten directly from victims, yes, but I am viewing the Epstein list that the Democrats are pushing for. The fact that Democrats are pushing for it reinforces my view that I think it's been tampered with and has become something that they hope to use against Trump.
So I'm not going to regurgitate that, but the Epstein files are a really good example of how they really cared about the Epstein files and they were really upset at the failure of Joe Biden to release them in that administration. So they were hyping up Trump about all of his promises to release them.
I care about holding people that abuse children accountable for their actions. Yes, I care about that. But the Epstein files that are in corrupt government's possession, that have been in the deep state's possession, I do not entirely trust what has been done with them. Yeah, I'm not pushing for those to be released right now because I'm worried about them. I'm worried to what has been done to them.
Those Epstein files, which he has still not done and still actively just like discounts, and the entire administration denying the existence of now. And this same group of people that was so excited for Trump to follow through on that promise is now like, oh, he didn't break any promises. In fact, it's just not even important. That's why he's not.
Again, it'd be great if they were released, but given how Trump has reacted to them and everything's going on, I believe what explains everything that's happened is that they've been tampered with and stuff like that letter to the Wall Street Journal. Actually, there's a copy of that in the evidence about Epstein. And I think that was the deep state's plan. They added all this evidence to the Epstein file, and now they just want to prevent Trump from removing the fake evidence and just want him to publish everything. And thereby, they'll have something to attack him and sidetrack his second presidency. I'm afraid that is the plan. So I view this Epstein list with suspicion, and I'm not going to be pushing for its release.
Not doing it. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, who cares about the Epstein files? We have so many bigger things to worry about. Like what the next product we're going to have to buy from Trump is. Like, they're just now saying it doesn't matter.
No one has to buy products from Trump. They're buying because they want to buy products from Trump. And just like your supporters buy your products, there's nothing wrong with it.
We don't care. We actually don't want this information.
You're just upset that you lost money in the Crypto Crash.
Actually, I believe everything they're saying now. Yeah, it definitely doesn't exist. Yeah, actually, Maxwell's probably innocent too. But
No, she isn't.
Again, I've already talked about that a lot. Let's talk about some other stuff. The COVID vaccine. Trump just got a COVID booster. Not a conspiracy. Just out in the open.
I would not be getting a booster. I don't know why Trump is getting a booster, but I don't keep track of stuff like that. Trump does stuff that I find not good. It's take the good with the bad.
Signed, documented, stamped. It is legitimate. Trump just got a COVID booster. And this administration has constantly played into the MAGA fear of the jab. That was one of the big things with...
Again, someone I know, 32, dropped dead 2 days after getting his second shot of the COVID vaccine. That's why I didn't get the COVID vaccine. And 32 of a heart attack, by the way. 32 heart attack. It's not normal. Not normal at all.
MAGA is like how this is, contaminating us, poisoning us. They're trying to kill us with the jab. And now,
I don't know if it was trying to kill us, but it was not safe.
now Trump just got the vaccine booster, and those same people like Gunther Dickelman are now applauding him for it. Sucking a fucking...
Did you hear me applauding? Hear that? That's silence. That's me not applauding.
Fart out of his butt for it, giving him a full rim job like, yes, the president's healthy, this is great news. Meanwhile, only a few months ago, a big
Well, the president being healthy, that's good.
talking point from him and so many others is the COVID vaccine and the evil of it. But now that Trump got the vaccine booster, well, now they love it. Well, now it's...
No, the majority of us don't love it. A lot of Americans lost their jobs for not getting it. You're making wild assertions here, Charlie.
great. Actually, Trump probably got the vaccine booster because he's going to immediately give all of us herd immunity. He is using himself as a selfless sacrifice with the jab, so that way his aura of being immune to COVID will help infiltrate all of us via osmosis. So now we're all immune to COVID thanks to Trump getting the COVID vaccine booster. Or some crazy shit, maybe. That one I'm just spitballing, but I'm trying to find ways to...
Yes, very obviously spitballing.
mental gymnastics around it.
Wild Olympic-level gymnastics there.
But the sad reality is they're not even going to bother trying.
And by the way, he's usually very chill and funny to listen to and whatever. I guess this is what happened when you lose a lot of money.
They're just going to be like Gunther here and just be like the good little NPC drone that's like, anything Trump does is great. Can't wait to swallow more Trump meat. Even though it goes completely against all of the things he was talking about. Like, so many people that were talking about the jab and how evil it is and all of that are now celebrating that.
Charlie, I can tell you this with absolute confidence. The majority of people that were against the jab are still against the jab. And they're just rolling their eyes when President gets the jab.
That Trump got it. It's just so obvious. It's so blatant. Like fucking cat turd. I don't think I've seen anything from him on Trump getting the jab here. Just
yes, he probably feels the same way as me, which is rolling your eyes. It's not worth commenting on. Trump, remember, pushed the vaccine at Trump and his base haven't been on the same page always on this vaccine. So it's nothing new.
Radio silence, just crickets. It's just ignore things that make you have to think.
No, we have different positions on the vaccine. That's all.
That is the cult mentality of MAGA. Anything Trump does is perfect. Anything that makes me think that maybe there's something else there, I shut out.
A ton of stuff that he does that isn't perfect. Tons of people on the right called him out about the Epstein files. Does everything you're saying apply to Asmongold too? Because he is basically, I think, much closer to the average MAGA voter than whichever mysterious entities you're thinking about.
I plug my ears too. It is fucking horrifying. Trump is now building a Qatari Air Force base in Idaho. Trump has accepted a huge $400 million Wumbo Turbo Superstar jet.
The American presidency has accepted this jet, not Trump himself. And that is what New York Times and others have dishonestly been portrayed again and again, is saying that it's Trump that's getting this jet. No, it's the President of the United States, the presidency. Trump doesn't own it. As for this base, I haven't looked up about it.
From Qatar, it's a crazy gift. That's one hell of a donation there.
To the U.S. presidency. Nations like France give us the Eiffel Tower. It happens. Nations give each other presents. Get over it.
I don't want to toss the B word around too lightly here, the bribe nomenclature, but I mean, definitely smells a little fishy.
Bribes are for personal favors. If it was the jet was given to Trump personally, then yes, it might be a bribe. But it was given to the presidency, Charlie, and you're being dishonest. You are actually being dishonest if you are portraying that jet as if it was given to Trump. I can't entirely blame you because that's how the media portrays it, but it's not the truth.
Over here with that, especially in regards to what came soon after. He then signed a $5.5 billion deal with Qatar for a Trump golf course. Yippee, that's great for the American people. More Trump wealth that he accumulates here through this deal. And now...
Okay, looks like Trump is getting backlash for this Qatar Air Force deal from his base. The ones that Charlie says are supposedly brainwashed are not happy with that Air Force base. So are they really brainwashed?
American people, more Trump wealth that he accumulates here through this deal. And now he is putting a Qatar Air Force base on our homeland soil.
And there is backlash over this.
America first, right? Yeah, it's really America first thinking right there. Yeah.
Yes, that isn't one of Trump's best decisions.
And then I've already seen the cope about how actually no, this is a joint training procedure. This is something that we do all the time actually. And I saw JD My Chemical Romance Vance talking today about like how it's actually just all fake news and stuff. Even though they have literally verbatim point blank said exactly what this deal is, and he is just denying that. So not even the administration is in agreement on.
J.D. Vance has to defend Trump. He's the vice president. I wouldn't hold that against him. The backlash for something like the Air Force Base has to come people outside the administration. If it came from Vance, that'd be just disloyal. So, and it's not something big enough for it to be worth him turning against Trump.
On their talking points right now. It's a fucking mess. And still, people are so brainwashed and mind controlled.
Again, about being brainwashed, there's backlash to this golf course and to this Air Force base. So what brainwash?
Well, that they'll just accept it and be like, this is great. This is America first, actually, to put this Qatar Air Force base in Idaho. That's actually exactly what I wanted. And then Trump always finds a way to surprise me with some crazy schizo posting late at night. So his most recent one is the Biden...
This isn't schizo posting. It's something that came out that was shocking. FBI had 274 agents into the crowd on January 6th. That's just shocking. And let's hear what Charlie has to say about it.
Biden FBI placed 274 agents into the crowd on January 6th. If this is so, which it is, a lot of very good people will be owed big apologies. What a scam! Do something! President DJT. There is so much wrong with that. I think he forgot to take his suppositories because holy shit, Trump was president on January 6th. Biden did not control the FBI. But you know what? Let's play
FBI was rogue and wasn't operating under Trump. That much is obvious. But go on, Charlie.
ball here and dive into a fucking fever dream, a fantasy. Let's say Joseph Biden set down his ice cream, cracked his knuckles, and assumed direct control of the FBI on January 6th and placed all of these agents in here just as Trump.
No, what happened is during the first term, Trump relied on establishment appointees. And so the deep state had enormous sway over his presidency and institutions like the FBI. More precise, say the FBI was under its own control, and it very much did this, put all these agents, and that was not under Trump's request.
Says, well, why don't you do something about it? You are the president. Who are you asking to do something? God? Batman? Like, who are you?
He is just pointing out something that is absolutely absurd, and he is trying to do something about it. But one thing, the best thing he could do is exactly what he did, which is raise awareness. Really.
Trying to call? Who are you trying to summon to do something? You are the president. So if this is real, why aren't you doing anything?
He's informing the people, which is his first responsibility. I guarantee you that he is trying to do something about it also as the president. What are you complaining about?
This is a classic President DJT maneuver here, the entire administration really, where they're like, all of these crimes from the Democrats, all of these absolutely abhorrent, vile crimes.
The deep state.
That the Democrats have done. No more playing nice. No more Mr. Nice Guy. We're showing our teeth. We're baring our fangs, and we're going to get something done about it. And then nothing. It's all just posturing. It's all performative. It is.
Okay, first of all, the fact that we know this information, that there were 276 agents on January 6th, is because Trump is doing something about it. He's doing something about the corrupt FBI. And the first thing to do about the corrupt FBI is to investigate it, find the insane things it did, like put in 276 agents on January 6th, and expose that to the public. That is the first step in fixing the problem that is the FBI. He is doing exactly what he should be doing.
Is a game, and they are playing you. They are preying upon your gullibility. And
they are doing exactly what they promised to, and I'm happy with that. The fact that he exposed that 276 agents, every Trump supporter knew something was wrong, and now there's proof of it. And what's there to be unhappy about?
In your inclination to be afraid, to constantly keep you in fear, because when you are afraid...
what am I scared of?
And when you are convinced that the other side is doing all of these things to get you, you are...
They were doing all those things. There were 276 agents in January 6th. This is exactly what Trump should be doing. A leaked memo reveals FBI deployed a stunning 274 agents on January 6th, causing internal revolt. Knowing various things the FBI was doing that were so controversial they were causing internal revolt, that is, exposing that is what the Trump administration should be doing.
So fucking easy to control. You're so malleable. That's why they're playing that shit in the airports now about how like the Democrats are Satan and all of that. If you have all of this overwhelming evidence that you claim to have about all of these crimes and all of this shit that the Democrats have done, why have you done nothing? You would be just as guilty in that case. What is the quote?
Because the deep state is very deeply rooted in the United States. There's a lot of corrupt judges, still a lot of corrupt agents at the FBI and other agencies. It's not that easy to root out. It's going to take to the end of his second term to have a visible impact. Get those findings that there were agents on January 6th is just the first step. It's happening. What we want is happening. Why would we be upset?
The only thing it takes for evil to succeed is for good men to do nothing? Well, if you know that all of this evil is happening from the Democrats and you're doing nothing, you're just as guilty. Like, this is so clearly obvious to anyone that's thinking for more than 5 fucking seconds. And you don't even need to be...
Do you think it's an accident that Epstein and Weinstein, those two cases happened during Trump's first term? Do you think it's an accident? because the pressure from the presidency to protect those individuals disappeared when Trump became president. That's why cases against them moved forwards and they got exposed. Stuff is happening, Charlie.
Thinking for 5 seconds to see this new Truth Social stinker here that he squeaked out as anything other than just a sham. Like, this should just be alarming into the mental decline of Trump. He was president on January 6th. He controlled...
Yes, but if you were more informed and were keeping track, you'd know that the agencies, his appointees, were establishment, and they were basically operating against him. He was surrounded by a cabinet of traitors, basically. That's why he fumbled so hard. He was hobbled by the Russia Gate and by disloyal cabinet appointees, his first term. The second term, he appointed some good people, and he doesn't have Russia Gate hanging around his neck, and he's being more effective.
The FBI. Not Biden. Biden was probably out riding his bike to a fucking twisty treat. I don't think he was down there as the puppet master pulling the string.
Yes, because it's not just the Democrats and Republicans. There's the deep state, the ESF, and I wrote about and everything. That exists. That has their own interest in this. For a quick thing, the ESF is controlled by the Treasury, only the Secretary of the Treasury, and it doesn't answer to Congress. It runs the U.S.'s black budget. It operates out of the New York Fed. It wields enormous power and is the heart of the deep state. And it exists. And it is behind a lot of these things, like all these officers being there on January 6th. And Charlie doesn't even know it exists. So I guess I can't really get mad at him for it.
Putting FBI agents in January 6th. It is so crazy, and yet people will just swallow it. They will swallow any shit.
I don't even understand
that
what
Trump feeds them happily, even when they know it's something bad. Like Ted Cruz saying that he got into Congress 13 years ago solely to represent the interests of Israel. He is an American politician.
I have never liked Ted Cruz. What's your point?
Who openly states that he is here for Israel. That, again, like I said, feels treasonous to me. And I imagine most people in a different time period would feel the same, but because of how tribalistic politics has become, if you're a big MAGA enthusiast, Trump supporter, you have to somehow just hand wave that and support it because that's what you're told you
Why? No.
You need to do. Even though anyone should be able to hear that and be concerned. Why does Israel have such a huge strength?
Trump and Israel, that's... Yeah, the one place a lot of us aren't happy with him, but it is what it is.
Hold on the American political landscape and such a massive say-so in how American companies do their business, and why do they even have like the ability to start making demands about what needs to be censored in regards to their atrocities on American platforms. It would be alarming to everyone if the political sphere wasn't just, I have to support everything from this side no matter what. It is
Yes, I'm not for censoring stuff that's negative towards Israel. That's a terrible idea.
Fucking scary. Now, I do want to make a mention of something. It's not all horrible, awful news. There's actually a ceasefire going on right now. And I can only pray that it sticks. With Netanyahu, you never really fucking know. But I can only keep my fingers crossed and pray for the absolute best for the Palestinians and hope that going forward, the people of Gaza will no longer need to fear being massacred by
Agreed. Let's be cautiously optimistic there.
Netanyahu's IDF. Now, I know I said at the beginning of the video, the focus of this was going to be on the crypto collapse.
Yes, you got off topic, which is what you usually do in your videos, so it's not surprising. And it's usually part of your charm. Except when you're ranting about stuff that doesn't make sense, it's less charming.
And the super lucky guy that happened to make $190 million going against all...
Okay, one thing about super lucky guy is if you check news stories, no one's covering this. Now, let's search Google News. Two articles. This is a pattern I've seen going back decades. You have some party makes insane profits off something that's obviously foreknowledge, and the media is dead silence. Another big example when this happened is someone got very rich shorting airline stocks right before 9/11. That happened. And there wasn't a peep in the media about it. The reason is, if the media covered it and told people that this one person had insane profits from this crash, there would be pressure to find out who it is. And if they followed through, investigated, and found out who it is, it's not Trump that would look bad. It would be someone connected to the deep state, someone that's getting information out of the Trump administration, then trading on it. If it was someone on the Trump's team or someone in Trump's family, like Charlie implies, then I guarantee you, like the Epstein files, you know how Democrats are going after Epstein files like crazy? They would be doing the same thing with this Bitcoin wallet. They would find out who it was in the Trump administration, and they'd use it to completely sidetrack Trump's second term. That's what would happen. The reason there isn't a peep in the media is because that trader is not connected to Trump. It's not someone who, if revealed, would hurt Trump. And that's why it's silent. And so when Charlie is suggesting that it's some of the Trump administration or someone connected to Trump owned this wallet, he's not being dishonest because he obviously believes it, but he is being uninformed. It's not someone connected to Trump. If it was, the media would be hounding at the bit to expose this wallet and bring down the Trump administration. You know how much they hate the Trump administration. New York Times would be all over this. They'd be like, isn't this unbelievable? This Bitcoin wallet made this much money off of this crash. It's obviously inside trading by the Trump administration, blah, blah. All the rest would join in, and it would cause an investigation down the line, and it would, if it was true, it would severely damage the Trump administration. It's not happening. There is not a peep from the mainstream media about this. That's how you know this is a deep state. Someone connected to deep state that has, like a person who shorted the airline stocks before 9/11. And who knows, maybe they were the ones, the deep state has connections to China. Maybe they're the ones that caused this recent spat, this China cracking down on rare earth, just to cause this crash. Or China did that on its own and they just took advantage of it. I have no way of knowing for certain, but it's one or the other. It's not Trump profiting from this crypto crash. You lost money, it's not Trump that stole it from you.
Rational thinking and against all the odds. Truly a miracle. But I couldn't...
No, it's definitely rigged. It's definitely someone trading with inside knowledge. It's just not someone in Trump's team or connected to Trump. It's not someone who, if exposed, would hurt Trump. That much is certain, or the media would be all over this.
Help myself. This is just so preposterous. But now let's finally dive into the crypto collapse. CoffeeZilla made a video going over this. It's extremely well put together, so I'm going to be showing you some clips of that as we talk about it.
I don't even know what this is. I think this is all legal, kind of. I don't think it should be, as you'll see.
Thing is, even if it wasn't legal, it wouldn't matter.
Because of its nature, you can see which wallet is making money or losing money in the crypto market. And so that's why people like that other YouTuber can investigate this. And they're both right. There is someone inside trading, and that someone should be held to account. And I would be completely for exposing the holder of that wallet. And Charlie, you hear me? I bet you anything you want that if the owner of that wallet is exposed, it will not be anyone directly connected to Trump, anyone who would hurt Trump from that being exposed. Mark my words on that.
There will be no justice pursued regardless, because I think it's pretty clear that whoever this is, they are part of Trump's inner circle.
No, it's the deep state, and deep state has been covering up trades like this in all, from everything from commodities to stocks to other scams for decades. And the fact Trump doesn't control the media, he doesn't. That's the deep state that controls the media. And the deep state, like I just keep saying, the deep state, the media, is covering up that trade, that wallet. It's protecting it. And Trump doesn't control the media.
Circle of cronies, and they had this knowledge beforehand what was coming, and it doesn't take a genius to recognize that imposing these huge tariffs on China was going to have a huge effect on the market. So it was a
Yes, but why in this video did you not mention one time China export restrictions on rare earth, which caused these tariffs?
pretty easy opportunity for them to short with that knowledge in mind and make an unbelievable amount of money. Again,
Again, I'll just say it one last time. This move by Beijing a day before, on October 9th, a smart person, again, this is a third possibility, I don't think it's the case, but someone seeing this could start shorting the crypto market just based on this. This Beijing restricting rare earths is very provocative. It's something Trump's guaranteed to respond to, and the tariffs are a likely response. If you know about this, you should start shorting the crypto market because it's going to get slammed when Trump responds. Don't even need insider information from the Trump administration. This alone, anyone who knows it should suspect that there might be a crash in the crypto market.
if it is legal, it shouldn't be, like CoffeeZilla says, but even if it isn't legal, it won't matter because they're not going to do anything about it.
But
Again, assuming it's someone connected to Trump is just fictitious in this case.
the question is, what did this guy know? Okay, how did somebody make $190 million while everyone else was losing their shirts yesterday? If you don't know, there was one of the biggest crashes we've ever seen in crypto. And someone came in 24 hours before and started placing.
Now, crashes like this, biggest crashes ever, that is hallmark of one of deep state's manipulation. I can remember some of the ones in commodities that I covered. It's not just a small crash. It's when they start shorting. They do a huge amount of shorts at a time where they know that information is going to come out. And it usually is killing for every average person that doesn't see it coming.
Shorts against the market. Short is just when you bet that the underlying asset is going to go down in price and you will make money on that. Now, this all started October 9th.
October 9th, when Beijing made this move.
At 1639 GMT time, they start accumulating this Bitcoin short.
So T-minus 24 hours until the rest of the world knows this information about the impending tariffs. They come in with $80 million that they start shorting Bitcoin with. That is not like a gamble or anything.
No, it's not a gamble because some people like me read Zero Hedge, and we heard about this, and we knew there'd be a response from the Trump administration. And shorting after this story breaks, it's not illogical.
Thing that feels like they knew for sure something was going to happen. That is a crazy amount to come out of nowhere with to short Bitcoin.
Yes. You don't understand how impactful this rare earth thing by China. It threatens U.S. defense supply chain. It was an enormous deal. There's no way Trump could not respond to it. And tariff are his go-to response. It's not rocket science to figure out what's going to happen.
Now, the amount is
The
unusual.
only reason I believe and convinced the deep state is involved is because the media is covering up for it. If it was a clever trader and like someone that deep state didn't know about, there would be all types of stories because linking it to Trump, because exposing them wouldn't have any negative impact for the deep state. So they would just jump on it and hope it's someone connected to Trump and they can use it against it. Media would be all over the story if it was an independent trader that just saw the news story and made a trade. So that is the reason I believe it's a deep state person.
But that itself is not the unusual part. Then we have Ethereum starts to get shorted at 349 GMT. Interesting. $30 million gets deposited.
Also remember the deep state, the ESF, hates crypto. It's like gold, it's a competitor to the dollar. And they have arranged crashes in crypto repeatedly. They have pumped and dumped other coins to try to hurt Bitcoin. It's ESF hates crypto, Exchange Stabilization Fund. So they are the number one suspect in something like this.
Into this account, immediately start placing major bets that the market is going to go down. Why is this significant? Well, because at 14:57, this is only a few hours later, like 12 hours later, Trump posts on Truth Social that they are calculating a massive increase on Chinese tariffs.
Zoinks. That's really lucky.
Again, both of them not mentioning what Trump himself said is the reason for this. Trump was straightforward why he did this. It was to do with rare earths. And the fact that they're both not mentioning it, I'm just hoping they're uninformed and not dishonest.
This account comes out of nowhere, swinging huge numbers, slinging big time fucking doubloons here on these shorts. And then shortly after, well, it looks like something might be happening to the market here with these potential tariffs that they're calculating.
Where I think this goes from suspicious to downright diabolical.
Oh, yes, I agree. Every one of them, over the last few decades, every bump and dump bubble. If you want to get an idea of some of these crashes and how the deep state just rips off the average person, this article, The Great American Bubble Machine by Matt Taibbi, is a great read, wherever you can find it.
Is the fact that at this point, the market dips a little bit because you have these threats of tariffs. But the person does not start closing out their shorts yet.
No, that's not weird. This trader's just got diamond hands. What? He's not going to close out his position based off of just that one tweet there. No, that wouldn't make any sense. He's just got strong paws to really grip onto his positions here.
Which I think is very interesting. If you place this huge short bet and then the president tweets something like this, you would think you would close out your order. But not only do they not do that, not only do they not close out their short, they continue.
They don't, because they know he's going to respond to this. And that response is going to be something concrete and something enough to move the market. And one way they caused this bubble is by not, the coverage of this probably was, I have no doubt it was undercovered. And so a lot of crypto traders never even knew of these restrictions to rare earths. And so they were completely caught off guard by the tariffs. That seems to be what happened. Now, who is the media? Who controls the media that didn't report on this incredibly important happening?
Continue to place short bets against Bitcoin. In fact, this person continues to short Bitcoin all the way up till 2049-23 GMT. Why is that significant, ladies and gentlemen? It's because 2049 is the last short he places, okay? 2050 GMT. A minute later, 1 minute later, Trump announces they're considering an 100% tariff on China, which of course tanks the market. And this person makes literally $190 million in 24 hours.
Then over the course of the next half hour, they close out all of their shorts and they cash out big time.
Again, I said it. Anyone in the deep state who knew how Trump would react to this, they would keep shorting right up until that reaction.
I'm jackpot. Wow, did they get lucky or what, huh? Man, I cannot believe the coinkydink.
Yes, the problem is you thinking it has someone in the Trump administration. That's the issue. If you want someone who's brainwashed, not brainwashed, it's more like uninformed. Because it seems like you honestly didn't know about this rare. You haven't said rare earth a single time in this video about the crypto crash, when the crypto crash was directly caused by China's rare earth restrictions. And you have not mentioned rare earth a single time in this video.
There, shorting all the way up until 1 minute before Trump's tweet. Geez, some guys have all the luck. You would actually need to be the biggest fucking stupidest troglodyte on the planet to think that this was just like a lucky, miracle trade here.
Again, Charlie, I have to assume, I'm going to give you the benefit that you didn't know about the rare earth that was caused for this. Because if you know about this, it's the tariff. It's just normal Trump response to something like this. It's not the Trump's tariffs in this case weren't out of the blue. China did something extreme, and Trump responded with something extreme. You're not mentioning China's action. You're just making it seem like Trump did something out of the blue for no reason. That is 100% not the case.
From this individual, this is clearly someone that had information about what was coming. The speculation is that it's Barron Trump. There's a lot of people that are providing their loose evidence.
Speculation. Again, I'll take you up on this bet that if we ever find out who owns that wallet, it will not be someone connected to Trump. Mark my words on it. I'll put my credibility on that.
That it's Barron. Nothing's confirmed on who this is, and I don't think there will ever be confirmation on who this.
Oh, I think there will be confirmation on this, along with everything else, the day the EFSF's doings are exposed. The day the deep state goes down, and it will, dollar, treasury market, deep state, and EFSF will all go down, and when that happens, there'll be an autopsy, and we will find out, among other things, who owned that crypto wallet.
But it doesn't take a galaxy brain 5-digit IQ genius to see this and recognize that the only way that something like this happens.
Again, the fact that he didn't mention rare earth a single time in this video, please do not take what Charlie's saying seriously in this video. He is just simply uninformed.
Is if that person had prior knowledge of what was coming. There is no other explanation for it. So while everyone else lost tons of money, some people lost everything. This crash was so colossal that some people took their own lives because of it. The only way that someone went totally against the grain all the way up until 1 minute before the fucking, bomb dropped from Trump here is if they knew it was coming.
Again, it's not hard to know it was coming. If your sources of news cover the important things in economics.
It's just, I think it is so clear. And the only way you could possibly think anything else is if you're already brainwashed and mind controlled.
No, you can be more informed. And if you're informed, you will think something else because the facts suggest something else.
And stuck in a cult mentality.
It's not a cult mentality, it's called being informed, and you should try becoming informed too. And you'd rage uselessly less often. And again, I apologize for whatever loss you suffered in this crypto crash. My heart goes out to you for that.
Really don't know what it will take to snap people out of this. The people that are just so far gone and willing to deny all the evidence of their eyes and ears, that they're constantly being told that they need to, following these orders of just deny everything that you see and hear from this administration and everything going on. I don't know how you bring them back into being able to
again, you don't need to bring anyone back. You need to take Charlie and give him the facts that he's missing.
think. Actually be able to think. It's fucking terrifying. It's actually...
No, it's because he's probably suffered a loss, but it is knowing how much anger he is expressing despite being completely uninformed about this issue. But I like Charlie. So even his rants are entertaining, even when they're wrong.
Actually extremely scary. So yeah, I wanted to yap about this morning. That's really about it. So yeah.
Well, that does it for today. Like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye.